Persona 5 is a very interesting concept. Infiltrate people's minds in the form of distorted palaces. But if you line every palace up in Persona 5 and ask me to pick my favorite, well, that's kind of what this video is about. This is Persona 5, all palaces ranked. So, how are these going to be ranked exactly? Well, if you've watched any of my previous rankings, it's basically gun to my head, which one would I want to play? If I could only play Persona 5 one more time, and I only get one shot of a palace, well, I'm going to have to answer eventually. But the palace I wouldn't want to play is pretty obvious, at least from what I see online and Persona communities. Number 7. Spaceport of Greed, Okumura's palace. I just want to start out by saying this is the only area, not even palace, this is the only area in Persona 5 where the music isn't top tier. Didn't really enjoy it here. Huge red flag to start with the palace, right? Not only that, you got the worst puzzle mechanic in the game, where it's shooting yourself through space, clicking buttons. Least enjoyable puzzle I've ever seen. The boss fight gets a lot of hate. I didn't mind it, but I would also say it's the least favorite boss fight I've seen in Persona 5. Also, this is the time where Mona leaves the group, and it felt like the story went a little off trail for a little bit. So overall, just red flags across the board. Easy number 7. Now let's make some hard decisions. Number 6. Cruiser of Pride, Shido's palace. The best thing about this palace for me is the boss fight. Epic. You start out with this guy, shoes, he's on like this thing, and then he jumps off. Okay, let's fight it one-on-one. Goes down. I'm like, wow, okay, we beat the second phase. Third phase. Also, I'm pretty sure this is where Rivers in a Dry Land, the OST soundtrack, comes in, just for Shido's fight. Gotta be one of the best soundtracks in the whole goddamn game.
This is my other self. Take this! Not bad.
Persona! Okay.
Much thanks. Sorry.
But here's the thing. I don't like cruises in real life. I didn't really particularly like it in this game. It's okay. The best part about this palace was trying to get the invitation cards from everybody, and it just always resulting in a battle no matter what. But other than that, it's up against some stiff competition. So Shido's palace is here at number 6.
Now, you're gonna give me that letter of introduction.
Why would I?
But how about a computer competition for it?
Huh? Don't be ridiculous. I'd rather just kill you.
Guys?
So this is still what happens in the end.
Number 5. Museum of Vanity, Madarame's palace. I think everyone, looking at my list here, everyone here that palaces you infiltrate has a genuine evil to them. Kamoshida's basically out here banging high school girls, beating the shit out of his volleyball team. Kanashiro is like a mafia dude. And you got the worst of them all, of course, a politician. It's just a tough follow-up for Madarame to be like the next big villain. And then you follow that up and it's like, what's the next guy gonna do? It's like, this guy. Oh, this guy, Madarame. You won't believe this. He plagiarized his artwork. Also, Yusuke comes in here, and my least favorite party member, I'm just gonna say that. But the good news is, the OST here, probably a top 2 for palaces, absolute banger. And also, during this arc of this palace, you get Anne's hilarious cutscene where she walks into Yusuke for a modeling shoot, and she's wearing every piece of clothing she owns.
By the way, have you gained some weight?
You think so? I weigh the same as always. Maybe I'm bloated today.
Number 4. Bank of Gluttony, Kanashiro. This really would have been like a top 2 for me if it just had a better setting. Like a bank. But the best part of this is Makoto comes in, and she is my favorite member of the whole party. Her awakening scene for her persona is kind of just like badass.
What the hell?
Dude, that was so badass.
The bank has probably my favorite puzzle mechanic in trying to decipher these like clues, and also the boss Kaneshiro just like goes off track. Like I swear he goes into like a completely different personality in the boss fight. I can't remember the exact thing he said or reason why, but I just remember laughing my ass off in this boss fight.
You punks are really pissing me off. You called my Pidgeotron a pig earlier, right? Were you talking about me too when you said that? No, Pidgeotron! Super VIP Force! Cry all you want, but I ain't gonna forgive ya.
Number 3. Casino of Envy. Sei Nijima. I've always been a fan of casino settings in palaces, in games. And you have some pretty cool things here, like say pretty much rigging the game against you to never let you advance, but Akechi, who is on your team for this round, which is also a positive for my opinion, helps you through it. And also 2 more positives. This has the maze where you go into like a dark ass maze, you gotta try and escape it, and it has a battle arena, which I think could have been expanded upon, but it's cool to see it here. Number 2, Castle of Lust, Kamoshida. This purely gets points for nostalgia reasons, even though I just finished this game a week ago. That's just the kind of game Persona 5 is. You feel nostalgic for it, even though I just started it 3 months ago. And that's why it's at number 2. It's the beginning of everything. I think Kamoshida is one of the most lively, characteristic villains in the game. You start with Morgana and Ryuji, and comes in as well, and at the beginning where it's just like the 4 of you, it just feels like those were like the prime days, really. You're learning how palaces work and how the game works and how combat works. This was like a prime time in Persona 5.
Letting this piece of shit toy with me? What was I thinking?
It's like I always say, slaves should just behave and...
Shut up! I've had enough of this.
Number 1, Pyramid of Wrath, Futaba. I had a feeling when I saw what the setting was for Futaba's palace, that it was a desert and a pyramid. I was like, oh yeah. And then I heard the theme song to this palace, and I was hooked. Not only do you get Futaba coming into your party after this palace, huge bonus right there. Everything that surrounds this palace and this arc of the story is so clean to me. This is at the point of the story where I was like, wow, the voice acting is popping off here.
Oh, that's right. I knew, but I...
It's all your fault. This time you'll be the one to die.
Will you die as you are told? Who will you obey? First word.
But for one reason or another, if you took all the palaces in Persona 5 and line up and you said, you get one last shot to play one palace for the last time, what you picking? It's gotta be Pyramid of Wrath, Futaba. So that's it, all 7 palaces ranked. I have a feeling the majority of people would put Okumura's at number 7 or 6 or something like that. But the great thing about Persona 5 is how diverse it is in how great it is. Like, it's great Okumura, great. So you could have this list put through a randomizer and I could be like, yeah, I agree with that. So if you play Persona 5, What is your favorite palace? Comment down below. But for now, I'm your host, Cyberplane Entertainment. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out.
We're all knocked down! Freeze! That was incredible, Joker!
Go ahead.
All right, pass the baton and follow up! No time to waste. Nice work, team.
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half of that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.